Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to the Sporting Arena on a rainy Saturday afternoon in Rutland, Vermont, on the Northeast Sports Network as the Castleton Spartans host the Crusaders of Holy Cross in the championship game of the Rutland Herald Invitational Tournament. I'm Jack Healey with Mike Coppinger. Cam Clark is our producer. These two teams met for the championship last year. Holy Cross won it, and Holy Cross looking to make it two straight, the defending champ, and Castleton looking to win its own tournament for the first time in program history. Both teams won thrillers yesterday in the first round. Castleton scoring late to defeat the University of New England 6-5. Holy Cross scored late with 15 seconds left in regulation to defeat Salve Regina by a score of 4-3. And Salve Regina, by the way, defeating UNE 3-2 in the consolation game. Today's game also is on PEGTV, channel 20 on the Rutland Comcast system. As Cam Clark is our producer here at the Sporting Arena, our producer at PEGTV channel 20, our producers both Mike Valentine and Chris McCormick had an opportunity to talk to Castleton coach Bill Bowes. Let's listen into that conversation. On our pregame show now at the Spartan Arena as Castleton gets set to take on Holy Cross in the championship game of the Rutland Herald Invitational. With us is Castleton women's coach Bill Bowes. And coach, taking a look at the first round last night, both teams won close ones. You did win it 6-5 late after dominating early.
Yeah, you know, hopefully it's a lesson to our players that it's a 60-minute game, and we've got to do a little better job of taking care of the puck and a little better job of being more responsible penalty-wise. We got away with it. Our players competed hard. They played together. We came up with a lot of goals. Some new people scored, which was nice. That'll be different with Holy Cross. Holy Cross is a strong team. I know them very well. I was there for 7 years, as you know, before I came to Castleton. Peter Van Buskirk, arguably, I think one of the best hockey coaches, men or women in the country, Division I or III. He's just a great coach. And we're going to have our work cut out for us today, but we're looking for a good outcome.
Well, of course, you did win the game last night. I want to take a look at the Holy Cross game here in just a moment. The fact is you didn't give up the lead, number one. Just looking back, you had taken a 4-1 lead. Was it a question of maybe taking the foot off the gas a little bit and the team maybe became just a little bit overconfident or not?
I think it was a little bit of that. I think it was more the bad penalties we took. We took 3 penalties in a row. They scored on 2. We gave the puck away a couple of times. So the needless penalties, the needless giving the puck away, put them right back in it. Jess Cameron didn't have her most famous game, probably her weakest game to date. So she wasn't there to save us when we faltered. Paula came in and did a good job. So it's always a combination of many things. I think it's really never one thing, and that was the case last night too, Jeff.
Well, Paula Stevens does get the starting nod tonight. Speaking of changing goaltenders, UNE also had to do it last night. How tough is that as a coach to know that, all right, it might not be our goalie's night, and you don't want to really hurt the psyche of the goalie you're taking out?
It's real difficult because as a coach, you never want to do that. But when the team needs you to do it, you need to do it. And I talked with Jess later, and she handled it very well. She knew that's what the team needed. And she will rebound and be better and stronger because of it, I think. And that's the way we're going to approach it.
Each time last night, when you gave up the lead, you did bounce back. You mentioned that some players picked up their first goals. Actually, Sabrina Hosner picked up her first collegiate goal, and she will always remember that one because it was the game winner.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a nice shot, and it might have hit something in front, but she did what we've been asking them to, is getting that puck to the net from the point. There's a lot of traffic in front of the goalie, and those are the kind of goals that go in and are really hard to stop, especially with a hot goalie. Of course, Taylor Stedman scored her first goal last night as well. We're going to see a lot more goals from her as you can watch her play, and she's had very, very close on a few in just 2 games. And so, yeah, we're hoping we can keep the goal scoring going. Holy Cross is very good on defense, very good in the net. It's going to be a little more difficult for that today.
Well, both teams coming off dramatic wins in the first round last night. Holy Cross, the defending champion in this tournament, so it's a rematch of last year's title game, and this time you want to knock down that championship door. And it is the 5th annual Rutland Herald Invitational, we might add. We might have mentioned number 6 last night. It is the 5th, and in the 5th try, you're looking to, as I said, get the championship for the first time against the fellow team from the ECAC East. Now, Holy Cross had a dramatic win as well over Salve Regina in the first round, scoring with 15 seconds to go to win it.
Yeah, they did. So you got to give them credit. Like our team, in those close games, if you can come away with the win, there's some intangible your team has there that the team that lost wish they had. Holy Cross had it last night. We had it today. And as you know, I'm cheering for the Spartans to have it today in this game.
Well, it certainly hope so. Just one last thing, Bill. You and I talk about this all the time, and we sort of agree on this, that every game is a separate entity. Because if you talked about momentum, both teams have momentum. So the first part of the game, I guess, we'll take that momentum. One of these two teams, it really doesn't carry over, does it?
No, it doesn't. You know, it's what carries over is the winning feeling. It's just a lot better feeling in the player's stomach than the losing feeling. So both teams in this game had that. Yeah, you know, you're right. Every game's a whole new set of circumstances. We're going to be faced with some adversity today. Holy Cross is going to be. Who handles it better? Who can come up with the big plays at the right time? I think that's the team that's going to win the game today.
Well, we'll see what happens, and best of luck as Castleton goes after its first Rutland Herald Invitational Championship and in its second try in the championship game. So best of luck, Bill, and we'll catch you down the line.
Thank you very much, Jack.
Castleton women's hockey coach Bill Bowes as we get set for the championship game of the Rutland Herald Invitational here at the Spartan Arena. And more coming up after this timeout.
Number 1 is a pretty important number, but it's even more important when it comes to your health. That is, taking care of number 1. So turn to the number 1 group of healthcare professionals, Rutland Regional Medical Center's Vermont Orthopedic Clinic. Vermont Orthopedic Clinic is recognized across Vermont and the country for excellence in knee replacement, hip replacement, and overall orthopedic care. Vermont Orthopedic Clinic at the Rutland Regional Medical Center, where people care.
Holy Cross coached by Peter Van Buskirk. Jacob Anderson is the assistant coach. Bill Bowes, now in his 3rd year, the coach of the Castleton Spartans, the head coach. We just talked to him. Katie Kleinendorst is the grad assistant coach in her 1st season. Again, Bill in his 3rd season. Jack Healey, Mike Coppinger back at the Spartan Arena. Cam Clark, our producer here at the arena. Chris McCormick and Mike Valentine at PEGTV Channel 20 on the Rutland Comcast system. Holy Cross, the Crusaders in purple and white, and the Spartans in white and green.
You know, Jack, this I think is going to be a great game this afternoon. You know, both these teams familiar with each other, having played in the championship game last year, and Holy Cross besting Castleton. So, you know, possibly a little bit of payback Castleton could have in their heads going into this game. Both teams coming off of kind of an emotional game the previous day. You know, Castleton early on came out of the gates scoring a lot of goals, and then ended up having the score tied, and then had to come back and get that lead once again. And Jack, you had mentioned in the interview that Holy Cross took it right down to the wire in order to have their victory last night. So I think, you know, things are going to shape up to be a great game.
Well, they started to have the opening face-off, then the buzzer went off for some reason. It is Castleton going right to left here in the first period, going with Jensen, Kilroy, Daniels up front. And it's going to be Sam McNeil and Emily Raber at the points. Up front, Mackenzie Boardman, Kate Gogan, Rose Rather for Holy Cross, Emily Sullivan, and Panarelli at the points. That's Francesca Panarelli as the Spartans for a moment got it into the Holy Cross zone. Rather skates it up to center, number 15, to the red line. Paula Stevens in goal for the Spartans to your right, and Alex Stevenson in goal for Holy Cross to your left. And that time it's gloved by Paula Stevens off the shot from Panarelli from the right point. It would have gone in wide anyway, but they have a stoppage in play.
Jack, Stevens came in about halfway through the game last night, did a real nice job of guiding Castleton to that victory last night. Coach Bose had a couple of comments about his starting goal. He didn't have the best game, but it's great to be able to go to another goalie on the bench.
Hander down low by Rachel Miller, and the save made by Paula Stevens. Number 27 in the game right now, Nicole Giannino. And Nicole's goal last night won it with 15 seconds left in regulation for Holy Cross. And, of course, we mentioned already in the interview, Sabrina Hosner, her first collegiate goal, the game winner for Castleton last night. Chipped out, intended for Goslin, and back in her own zone is Amanda Gallagher for Holy Cross. The familiar purple for the Crusaders, Miller on the right wing. Miller drives it in, stopped right there by Paula Stevens, leaves it for Sam Peon. Peon will skate it out on the right wing side, shovels it across the red line, intended for Speidel, knocked away and controlled by the Crusaders. Frascati back in her own zone, and it's chipped up and over the glass and out of play. And the score and the time on your screen. It actually was hit with a high, they're going to call a high stick. I beg your pardon.
I didn't see that one either, Jack.
Speidel's
going to go in the box for 2.
High stick.
So this is one of the things that Coach Bose had said is staying out of the penalty box. A couple of power play goals last night proved to be costly for Castleton. So this is exactly where Castleton did not want to be, fighting off a penalty.
So the cross going on the power play here in the early going with 18:42 to go in the first period. No score. The Spartans on the penalty kill here. Is in deep is Baggy. Baggy in behind the net. Sends it to the near boards. Monahan back out to the right point, and the save made by Stevens. The wrister from Taylor McGee. There's an Emily Sullivan and a Kylie Sullivan, both out of Arlington, Mass. Twins for Holy Cross. And there's also, there's somewhere in there, there's another Sullivan. 3 Sullivans on the team. At least on their roster. So, but 2 of them, the Twins, are playing in this one, and both in the lineup for Holy Cross. Shot down low, the save by Stevens. That came in from Rose Rather. Rose Rather again along the far boards as the Crusaders putting on some pressure. Save made off the shot from Boardman. And a 24 to go on the Holy Cross power play.
Stevens hugging the post right there, making sure that nothing slipped in on that near side. Gonna have a face-off right to her right.
Actually, Megan Sullivan's the other Sullivan, but she's not in the lineup tonight, so we only have to worry about 2 of them. And that's a save made again by Paula Stevens. Already, because of the power play part of it, 5 shots on goal for the Holy Cross Crusaders.
Nice save again, right to the midsection. Holy Cross not getting in front to screen, so Stevens is able to see most of that.
At the first line in with Rather and Boardman and also Gogan for Holy Cross here in the power play as it's cleared out by the Spartans. Baggy unable to keep it in at the point. Baggy gets it from Stevenson, her goaltender, back in her own zone, but the Spartans doing a nice job on the forecheck. Short-handed is Daniels with it. On a Daniels right wing corner, and it's going to be coming back in transition by Rose Rather. Up the middle, over the line, down the middle, lost it. Spartans look to clear it out. Rather got it back, and the shot and the save right off the glove of Paula Stevens.
That's truly the best shot all during that power play, Jack.
33 seconds left in the Holy Cross power play. 17-18 to go here in the first period, scoreless. Championship game of the Rutland Herald Invitational. Osner scored her first collegiate goal to win it last night, number 10 on the ice for the Spartans. Panarelli over the line. Panarelli to the right wing circle. And it's hiding away right in front of Paula Stevens. Got a piece of it with her stick. There's now 6 seconds to go in the Holy Cross power play back in the Crusader zone. Hosner drives it back in. Would have been a delayed offside. Panarelli back to grab it, and both teams at full strength now as the penalty is over. It's Kylie Sullivan that sends it in toward the corner. Hosner for the Spartans. Holy Cross changing up out to Allie Howard, played by Frascati at the just outside the line, but it's going to be offside. Holy Cross scoreless, 16:32 to go here in the first period.
Well, in the opening minutes, as we said, Jack, Castleton wanted to stay out of the box. They were successful in killing off that first penalty. Very important for them.
Face off just outside the Castleton line. Here's Rachel Bombargi. Rachel in, sends it right across, and actually all the way in on the goaltender Stevenson. Coming down on the left wing side was Goslin. And to the red line and driving it into the Spartan zone is Lemichewski. And back it goes to Paula Stevens, covers up on the short side.
A little bit of an offensive rush there. Hometown girl Bombargi coming in. Had a nice shot on net.
Yes, indeed, number 21, Mary Lemichewski for Holy Cross. On the left wing, Anna Daniels, left wing circle. Daniels chips it toward Nicolina Jensen. They both were part of the scoring last night in that first round victory for the Spartans. Hall back for it. Hall sent it ahead to Ball. Chips it up to center. Knocked back in by Jensen and back towards Gallagher. Gallagher slides it off the near boards. Back into the Spartan zone and back forward Hannah Wright to Sam Peon. Peon number 21. Off Jensen, Allie Howard now to play it. Allie Howard over the line, down the middle. Didn't have the numbers. Chipped it toward the right wing corner, and Allie picks it up again. Shot blocked to Molly Howard in number 16, and also number 12, Skelton on this line. Hosner's at a point, and Peon at a point. Hosner's shot deflected toward the far boards. Allie Howard to play it. Allie sent it to Skelton at the end boards. Cantarelli trying to get to it. Chipped around near side to Sullivan. This is Emily Sullivan, and she clears it the length of the ice. Should be an icing call. It will be. With 15:01 to go, first period, scoreless. Holy Cross and Castleton.
Castleton starting to get in their offensive ways right here. Good shot right there of a nice save by Sullivan at the other end for Holy Cross.
Off the draw, control by the Spartans. Shot came in from Biratinsky that was deflected away, still in the zone, and finally clearing it out is Devin Ball for the Crusaders. Spartans trying to get something going offensively here. Speidel lost it to Pinarelli. Crusaders in transition. Pass up to Gogan. Gogan had it knocked away far corner by Hosner. Gogan looked to get it back as the Crusaders control in behind the net. Trying to come out to the right point, and they have to play it again at center ice. Knocked back in by Gallagher. Bayajan is in, number 9 for the Spartans. Now Jensen with speed up to center. Jensen puts on a move, lost an edge, and would have been interesting if she could have gone in 1-on-2. She had the advantage speed-wise. But lost an edge. Jensen kept it in. Now Daniels to Kilroy. Back in front, and there is Stevenson. It was knocked away. Somehow it got out of there as the play's still on here. Daniels right at the doorstep. Rather over the line. Rather had it poked away. Nice play there by Raber. Spartans get the puck into the Holy Cross zone. That is Kilroy. As the Spartans now the late change. Coming in Goslin, and also coming in is Taylor Stedman, who scored her first goal for the Spartans last night. We mentioned from Hartford, Vermont, transfer from Elmira. Over the line, here's Miller. Miller, top of the left wing circle. Miller spins, sends it back out to the left point. Hall fires to the right wing corner. Trying to step up to it, Gallagher. Chopped towards Stevens, and a scramble, and knocked away. Rachel Miller was right there, but it was a bouncing puck, Mike, as she couldn't quite get a stick on it. Still putting on pressure, Stedman. And that shot blocked and sent away off the stick of Giannino, who, as we mentioned, scored the game winner last night for Holy Cross. Bombargi sends it in behind the net, back forward Aaron Hall. Hall sends it up the length of the ice, and it should be No icing because getting to it. Klimicheski right in front, and the backhander, the save by Stevens. Frescotti had an opportunity as Klimicheski sent it right to her. And the backhander.
Well, and Frescotti, if she had actually gotten that on her forehand, Jack, I think it would have ended up in the back of the net.
Here it is
But
again.
you'll see on the replay here, she had to handle it right there with her backhand, and it flipped up. If she was able to open up her body, take down the forehand on a one-timer, I think that she would have been in the back of the net.
Holy Cross and Castleton scoreless with 12:20 to go here in the first period. Dion sends it to Hannah Wright behind her own net. Off the near boards, wanted to go to Molly Howard. Panarelli kept it in. Molly Howard on the second opportunity, still in her own zone. Now controls it up to center. And she sends it off the far boards into the cross zone. Panarelli back forward behind her own goaltender. Slides it up too far on the right wing side for Klimicheski. Now picked off by Anna Daniels. Doesn't have the numbers there as the Spartans in the middle of a change. As the Crusaders chip it back into the Castleton zone off the stick of Frescotti. Spartans get it out to center. Nicolina Jensen cycles back to her own zone. Austin to Peon, back to Jensen. Off the near boards, Daniels. Anna Daniels. And it's going to be offside. Spartans with 11:31 to go. First period scoreless. Jack Healey, Mike Coppinger, Cam Clark. Game today also being televised on PEGTV, Channel 20 on the Rutland Comcast system.
Coach Bill Bose was really singing the praises, Jack, in your pregame interview there of Taylor Stedman and just, the goal that she had last night. First goal in a Castleton uniform after making that transfer and expecting some big things from her in the games coming this year.
Well, we mentioned last night the last goal she scored was in the national championship game for Elmira, the 1-0 win over Middlebury in the championship game. Gogan in deep, sent it across. Number 15, Rather in there. Rather, Gogan, and also Boardman, that first line for the Holy Cross Crusaders. The Spartans get it out to center. Speidel bumped just a bit. Maya Jean chips it back in her own zone. Hosner back for it. Number 10 for Castleton. Hosner to Beretinsky. On the near boards, kept in by Baggy. Baggy sent it to Boardman in behind the net, or rather, now to the top of the slot. The shot blocked.
That looks like came off of, I think it was Bajan. I think they actually hit her in the arm, Jack.
Back toward the end boards is into the game now for the Spartans. Kim Goslin. As Holy Cross in a change. Bargy had it knocked down. Giannino now, left wing circle. She fires and scores. Giannino, who got the game winner last night with 15 seconds to go, scores the first goal of the game in the championship game. Crusaders lead it 1-0.
Well, picking up where she left off last night, Jack, you can see picks it up along the far side boards and then top shelf. I think that was over the blocker side, short side post. As you can see the replay right here, a nice snapshot that finds its way into the back of the net. Yeah, boy, it might have even hit off the tee of the post up there.
Taylor McGee picking up the assist on that, and that goal for Giannino was her 6th of the year. The game winner last night, her 5th. That's her 6th. Giannino back over the line, and she wrists it in, and Paulo Stevens makes the save. 1-0 Crusaders, 10:01 to go first period.
Again, Jack, just a real nice individual effort right there. And Castleton seemed they got caught along the boards. You can see two of the defensemen along the side there, and it possibly could have gotten caught in a change as well, because you could see Castleton players coming to try to aid assistance from the other side of the ice.
Play back in, Panarelli. Send it to the left point to Emily Sullivan. Glove down in behind the net, blocked away. Monahan getting it back. Back it goes to Emily Sullivan. Monahan slid it across and right there to pounce on it, Stevens. Scotty was right at the doorstep. Third place game won by Salve Regina, 3-2 over the University of New England. Slid to the end boards in behind her own goaltender, Sam Pia. Chipped up toward the line, kept in at the line by Gallagher, and Stevens covers up. Last night's game between Holy Cross and Salve Regina was actually a league game. Both teams decided they were going to count that as a league game. Now, even though there are 2 league teams here, ECAC East, this is not a league game. This is a non-league game here between Holy Cross and Castle. But that game last night, Holy Cross and Salve Regina, indeed a league game. Kept in at the line, Gallagher. Chip toward the corner, back his hand to right. Peon, back to right. Spartans outshot 11-2 in this one. Holy Cross leads 1-0. Pass goes in behind Allie Howard, and Allie Howard almost got to it. Nice hustle there. And back is Gallagher. Crusaders get it up to center. Struggle there. Backtracking is Kim Goslin. Up to center, and the Crusaders control again. This is McGee.
Looking for possibly too many men right there, Jack, as that puck was along the bench side there. And a lot of times in those changes, you can get called for too many men on the ice.
Osner chips it up into the air, knocked down, but Bargy there. Slides it up to center, went by Stedman. Chip back, and Osner back out on the left wing to center. Goslin chipped into the zone by Stedman. Spartans again change up here as Holy Cross looks to control. Dowie almost got to it, and a shot from the top of the left wing circle, save made by Stevenson. That was Spidel
taking a nice, Spidel with a nice shot. She actually used the Holy Cross defenseman as a screen to get that shot off, and actually kind of a tricky save to make. But Stevenson was up for the challenge.
Off the draw, Spidel again fires in. Goaltender Stevenson knocks it away. Boardman starts it up the middle. Boardman to Rather. Now with it is Gogan. Back it goes to Rather. Shot it toward the right wing corner. Rather and also Boardman and Gogan on that first line for Holy Cross. Rolls up to center. Back over the line. Miller on the left wing. Boardman shot, the save made or rather again, number 15. The save made by Stevens. Backboard number 5 is Raber for the Spartans. Up to Anna Daniels. Back at her own line to play it, Aaron Hall. Now with it is Penarelli for the Crusaders. Slides it toward the end boards, but they are going to call it an icing call. And Rather's number 15, Boardman 5, Gogan 8 on that first line for Holy Cross. The Crusaders lead at 1-0 on the goal by Giannino.
Holy Cross
to go, first period.
Holy Cross right now out shooting Castleton 11-4. Castleton really needs to find their shots.
Knocked away by Stevenson, and Kilroy almost got a piece of the rebound, bounced over his stick. Nicolina Jensen to the right wing circle. Shot and a save made by Stevenson. Bounces toward the corner. Back it goes to Daniels from Kilroy. Anna Daniels back to Kilroy at the dot, left wing circle, and a diving stop. It would have gone wide anyway, but Stevenson hangs on. Alex Stevenson, .904 save percentage, goals against average 1.50. Paula Stevens for the Spartans, .929 save percentage, 2.67 goals against average.
Yeah, Stevens said actually that puck was going to go wide, Jack, but sometimes it's good to get the whistle.
Yep, and Molly Howard couldn't control, came out to center. Peon knocks it back in, and Emily Sullivan, one of the twins, Emily and Kaylee Sullivan, twins from Arlington, Mass. Over the line, Klimacheski, and her shot deflected to the end boards. Klimacheski getting it back by the wraparound on the backhand. They're poking at it right in front, and somewhere in there, Paula Stevens has it as Scotty was also poking at the puck for the Crusaders.
Bit of a miscue on defense right there. It almost was costly for Castleton, as Holy Cross was really pouncing on those mistakes. And nice wraparound attempt right there. Stevens goes down, or Stevenson goes down and covers it up.
Paula Stevens covers it up there. It is confusing.
It is
Stevenson on one end,
Stevenson on the other.
In a way, it's easy to remember. In a way, it's not. Face off to the left of Paula Stevens, the goaltender for the Spartans. Up the middle, Kim Goslin. She'll recycle back in her own zone. Goslin up on the left wing. Beretinsky sends it to the Holy Cross line. The Crusaders send the puck in. Frascati. Back now, it's Osner. Osner Goslin. Now Stedman. Stedman had it Bombargi on her right wing side. Here with speed. O'Donnell. O'Donnell in deep. O'Donnell toward the end boards. O'Donnell still with it. O'Donnell. Now chip toward the corner. She wanted to send it to Canoxis. Here come the Spartans up to center with Kim Goslin. Just outside the line. Drives it into the cross zone. Stevenson will leave it there for Baggy. Chipped out to center, and back is McNeil in her own zone for Castleton. 1-0 Holy Cross, 5:24 to go here in the first period at the Spartan Arena. Kept in at the line nicely there by Boardman. Chipped it back out by the Spartans, and Stevenson will send it out to Gallagher. Go drag by Boardman. Rather, number 15. Boardman, number 5 along the near boards. Number 22 is Gallagher. Holy Cross in purple. Speidel. And it knocked away, but here's a drive straight on to the save made. That came from Boardman. And we have and that looks like Rose Rather that's been shaken up for Holy Cross as we have a whistle. 12 shots on goal for the Crusaders, 5 for the Spartans. It's 1-0 Holy Cross on the goal by Giannino.
Rather immediately went to grab her arm when she went down. I couldn't, and dropped her stick. I couldn't see if there was a slash inside there. We'll see it again here, Jack. Well, right there, it looks like she got caught. It's possible she could have landed on her arm. Looks like she might have gotten it in the leg, to be honest with you. I don't want to speculate. This is number 15 right here. Rose Rather. And kind of awkwardly right there, kind of loses her feet from underneath her. You can see her stick goes to the left-hand side there. She's being attended to right now by the training staff.
Back up, as you can see. She is holding her arm. Or she's holding her arm up there, as you can see, Rose Rather. And she's going to the bench. Face-off just outside the Spartan zone. Giannino scored the goal on the face-off with Jensen. And a steal as the Spartans couldn't clear out right in front. And the save made by Paula Stevens. Here come the Spartans on transition. Daniels over the line. Daniels a drive. It scores! That ties it at 1.
Boy, what a shot, Jack. Again, another one upstairs. This one to tie the game up. And again, it looks like this shot might have nicked the inside of the post as it went through. I thought it was going to sail over. But in fact, it ends up in the back of the net, tying it up. You can see right here, pulls up top of the circle, and just able to sneak it inside of that area, just over the stick side blocker. Tying things up with 4:35 left in the first period.
Anna Daniels has 3 goals in the tournament, scored 2 last night. That's her 8th of the year, and that ties it at 1. So the Spartans have come back to tie it. Nicolina Jensen. Jensen and Daniels, for the most part, go together all the time. The assist for Nicolina. Anna with a goal is the save on the side of the net. Paula Stevens, and she hangs on. 1-1. 4:16 to go in the first period.
And Jack, I am just so impressed with the power and the accuracy on this shot.
Not much room
Stevenson
there.
was giving up that near side, and Daniel saw it the whole time and tucked it right in there with a nice blast.
Face off to the right of Paula Stevens. It was Prescotti taking the draw for Holy Cross. Chipped out toward the line. Baggy now. Baggy to the right wing circle. Baggy shovels it across. Monahan. Monahan back to Baggy. Lost it at the slot. Allie Howard there. Now looking to get it back. Monahan. Also in is Tomacheski. And the Spartans control. Allie Howard doesn't quite control as much as she would have liked to. And finally it's cleared out to center. Delayed offside as the puck is sent back into the Castleton zone. Beretinsky. At the Goslin. Beretinsky lost it. And in with a shot off the glass, ripping in Klimacheski. Right in front, the shot and the save. Paula Stevens with waiting at the doorstep was Monahan. And Goslin Lost control of it and back in her own zone now for the Spartans. To Sam McNeil. Slides it up the middle. Stedman. Stedman over the line. Stedman to the left wing corner. Holy Cross zone. Right across. And Goslin. And that hit the post or it go a little wide. Goslin had an opportunity right in front. Kim Goslin. Rachel Bombargi, number 7 on the forward check. Goslin comes over and it's cleared back down and back toward McNeil. Back out to Stedman. We mentioned a transfer from Elmira, but she's a Vermonter from Hartford, Vermont. Stedman had it poked away at the cross line. Back now, Goslin sent it back to the Holy Cross line, back to the Holy Cross zone. Penarelli sends it on the left wing side where it's rifled in by Emily Sullivan around the boards toward the corner. Boardman now chips it toward the end boards. Back forward is Hannah Wright. Like Aaron Hall is coming up with Gogan. We mentioned Rather was injured, so on the line now it's Boardman, Gogan, and now Aaron Hall on this line. In effect, the first line for Holy Cross. 2:10 to go in the first period. We're tied at 1. Kilroy back to Sam Pion. In behind her own net. Kilroy along the far boards. Nicolina Jensen overskates it, and Hall sends it back to the end boards, back forward Pion. Wheels around up on the right wing side along the far boards. Pion on a battle there with Gogan. That chipped the other way. That was intercepted nicely by Michelle Bayajan. Michelle Bayajan on a chase. There's Hall, though, number 6 for the Crusaders. Clears it up to center, knocked back in. And the clearing pass stolen away by Speidel. Backhander knocked away by Stevenson. Speidel gets it back, cycles the left wing circle. The save made as Naradowi was coming down and was at the top of the crease. And Stevenson hangs on with a minute 23 to go in the first period, tied at 1.
Well, Castleton again still being outshot by Holy Cross, 14-8. But things are tied up on the board.
I mentioned initially that Hall was up on that first line. She might have been a defenseman on that unless they moved her up because she's listed as a defenseman, number 6. But number 10 is Monahan. Giannino's got the goal for Holy Cross in now as well. Baggy slides it ahead on the left wing side to Monahan. Pass went in behind Miller toward the near boards. 57 seconds to go in the first period now, tied at 1. As with it is Monahan. Slides it to the near boards. Over is Goslin for the Spartans. Slides it up the middle now for Speidel. Speidel to the red line. Dumps it in. Stevenson steers it toward the far corner. Baggy over. Looks to swat it away. Kept in by Stedman. Lost it at the top of the right wing circle. Now McGee had it knocked away. Rolled to the Spartan zone. McNeil with it. Passes diagonally knocked away. Klimicheski with it. Klimicheski to left wing circle. Deflected toward the end boards by Bombargi. Then she lost it to Frascati. Frascati then lost it to McNeil. 10 seconds to go in the period. Emily Sullivan steps into it along the far boards. McNeil now for the Spartans off the near boards. Looking to clear it out. Penarelli sends it all the way in, and the puck picked out of the air by Paula Stevens as time expires, ending the first period. We've played 1 in the championship game of the Rutland Herald Invitational at the Spartan Arena. Holy Cross 1 and Castleton 1, and let's take a look at the score.
Well, Jack, we end that first period tied at 1. Holy Cross got things started by Nicole Giannino picking it up on the far side boards, and a sniper shot right here upstairs on the short side blocker side. And that was at the 10-19 mark. Here it is again right here, Jack. Just inside of the circle. Castleton defensively, I think, was caught in a change, and that was the first goal of the game. Castleton was able to get on the board at 4:35, and this is Anna Daniels. Puts it on, again another sniper shot on the near side with a nice snapshot. Just stepping in over the blue line. She pulls up right here with a good slap shot and picks the corner out right there. Ties things up. And that's how we ended the first period, all knotted at 1.
Giannino's goal, her second of the tournament, and Daniel's goal, her third of the tournament, and 8th of the year. So it's tied at 1. We'll be back from the Spartan Arena for second period action. We'll be back right before the start of the second period.
Number 1 is a pretty important number, but it's even more important when it comes to your health. That is, taking care of number 1. So turn to the number 1 group of healthcare professionals, Rutland Regional Medical Center's Vermont Orthopedic Clinic. Vermont Orthopedic Clinic is recognized across Vermont and the country for excellence in knee replacement, hip replacement, and overall orthopedic care. Vermont Orthopedic Clinic at the Rutland Regional Medical Center, where people care.
Why did I choose Castleton?
Castleton is big enough, so there's a lot to do. It's small enough so I can really get involved.
Sports.
Theater and music.
Radio and TV.
Internships and community service. There's a real sense of community.
And lots of opportunity.
And Castleton is in Vermont.
That means hiking, biking, skiing, and riding.
Visit castleton.edu to learn more about Castleton.
Why do students choose Castleton State College? It's big enough so there's lots to do, but it's small enough so that they can get involved in their classes and in clubs. In student government, theater, music, radio, TV, internships, and college and community projects that really matter. Castleton President Dave Walk calls Castleton a small college with a big heart. From their first day on campus, students feel a part of the community. Castleton offers more than 30 majors, career preparation, and the liberal arts and sciences. In every field, students receive personal attention from excellent faculty. There's a sense of community and lots of opportunity. For more than 200 years, Castleton has been educating students while changing to meet their needs. Technology, sustainability, internships, and community engagement are all part of a Castleton education. And the Castleton Spartans compete in 20 intercollegiate sports. Last year, 19 teams went on to the postseason, and individual athletes earned 79 spots on all conference teams, 6 all-region awards, and 1 All-American mention. Spartan Stadium, the home of men's and women's soccer, men's and women's lacrosse, field hockey, and football, is one of the finest facilities in the state. Glenbrook Gymnasium and Spartan Arena have been beautifully renovated. Castleton is in central Vermont, near the best snowboarding and skiing in New England, and close to where you are right now. And with all these advantages, Castleton is affordable with costs well below private colleges. Find out for yourself how Castleton can make a difference in your life by visiting soon. Check out the web at castleton.edu. Why do students choose Castleton State College? It's big enough so there's lots to do, but it's small enough so that they can get involved in their classes and in clubs. In student government, theater, music, radio, TV, internships, and college and community projects that really matter. Castleton President Dave Walk calls Castleton a small college with a big heart. From their first day on campus, students feel a part of the community. Castleton offers more than 30 majors, career preparation, and the liberal arts and sciences. In every field, students receive personal attention from excellent faculty. There's a sense of community and lots of opportunity. For more than 200 years, Castleton has been educating students while changing to meet their needs. Technology, sustainability, internships, and community engagement are all part of a Castleton education. And the Castleton Spartans compete in 20 intercollegiate sports. Last year, 19 teams went on to the postseason, and individual athletes earned 79 spots on all conference teams, 6 all-region awards, and 1 All-American mention. Spartan Stadium, the home of men's and women's soccer, men's and women's lacrosse, field hockey, and football, is one of the finest facilities in the state. Glenbrook Gymnasium and Spartan Arena have been beautifully renovated. Castleton is in central Vermont, near the best snowboarding and skiing in New England, and close to where you are right now. And with all these advantages, Castleton is affordable with costs well below private colleges. Find out for yourself how Castleton can make a difference in your life by visiting soon. Check out the web at castleton.edu.
Number 1 is a pretty important number, but it's even more important when it comes to your health. That is, taking care of number 1. So turn to the number 1 group of healthcare professionals, Rutland Regional Medical Center's Vermont Orthopedic Clinic. Vermont Orthopedic Clinic is recognized across Vermont and the country for excellence in knee replacement, hip replacement, and overall orthopedic care. Vermont Orthopedic Clinic at the Rutland Regional Medical Center, where people care.
Why did I choose Castleton?
Castleton is big enough, so there's a lot to do. It's small enough so I can really get involved.
Sports.
Theater and music.
Radio and TV.
Internships and community service. There's a real sense of community.
And lots of opportunity.
And Castleton is in Vermont.
That means hiking, biking, skiing, and riding.
Visit castleton.edu to learn more about Castleton.
Jack Healey back with Mike Coppinger. We're at the Sporting Arena. Cam Clark, our producer. Our producers at PEGTV, Channel 20. Chris McCormick and Mike Valentine. It's a 1-1 hockey game, the Rutland Herald Invitational Tournament. As we're in the championship game as we get set for the second period. Castle will be going left to right here in the second period. Alex Stevenson in goal for Holy Cross to your right. Paula Stevens in goal for Castle, and to your left, the Cross will be going right to left here in the second period. It's 1-1 as Nicole Giannino has scored for Holy Cross, and Anna Daniels has scored for Castleton. And it looks like the other person, and we mentioned Rose Rather was injured in the first period, and this is the line that she would have been on, but the other player up there is Klimacheski. She's the other player who's taken over for Rather, Klimacheski, for the Holy Cross Crusaders.
And looking down on the bench, Jack, I do not see her down there. Number 15, Rose Rather, I do not see her on the bench. It looks like we have an interference call coming up right now, Jack, against Holy Cross. Castle will go on the power play for the first time tonight.
Holy Cross 0 for 1 on the power play. Castleton going on the power play here. And the penalty is on Mackenzie Boardman, who's, we mentioned, Boardman up with Gogan and now Klimacheski on that first line. The Spartans on the power play. Early going second period, a 1-1 hockey game. Castleton has never won its own Rutland Herald Invitational. Giannino on the face-off with Kilroy. Off the draw, it goes to Anna Daniels. Drops it out to Jensen, who's had a point on the power play. Jensen looking. Stick handling. Kilroy back to Jensen. Nicolina Jensen. And it deflected right to Anna Daniels. Anna Daniels looking top of the right wing circle. Turns and fires in. Tipped on the way through. It goes in behind the net. Sam Peon's on, and also a Naradoe on the power play for the Spartans. Daniels sent it down low to Naradoe. Sent it right across toward the corner. Kilroy to Peon. Peon knocked down. Are we going to have another penalty on Holy Cross? We are. It's a checking call, body check, and it will be a 5-on-3 opportunity. Or no, yes, it will be. I thought for a moment they might. It's going to be a 5-on-3 opportunity because Rachel Miller going off for a body check, and a healthy 5-on-3 power play for the Spartans.
Yeah, good minute and 24 seconds of the two-man advantage, Jack. And, of course, if they score within that first penalty, just one of those people will come out of the box for Holy Cross, and Castle will continue on the power play.
In a right, and now Raber is on, and also Stedman on, and Bombargi, and also Goslin on the 5-on-3 opportunity. And Arelli is on, the three players for Holy Cross, Baggy, and also Frascati, the three players. And Goslin shot, the save made by Stevenson, and Pinarelli looks for an opening and does a nice job by clearing at the length of the ice. 52 seconds left in the two-man advantage for Castleton. 1-1, 18:30 to go here in the second period. Castleton with a golden opportunity to take the lead here. And a right, coast to coast, in behind the net. And a right, cycles to the near boards. And a right, getting it back from Raber. Back to Raber. Raber, wrister save made through traffic. There was a screen. And Stevenson stayed with it nicely, cleared out.
Good save by Stevenson. A lot of action in front of her.
And the Spartans.
Oh, that's the one thing. That's
a cardinal sin when you're skating 5-on-3.
Exactly, exactly. So the faceoff will come all the way down to the other end in front of Castleton's net. Again, they still have the two-man advantage. And there was that save right there by Stevenson. A nice job in traffic, as I said before, and was able to pick that puck out.
22 seconds left on the two-man advantage. 59 seconds left on the other penalty to Rachel Miller for Holy Cross. We're tied at 1. 2 minutes into the second period. Jensen's back in, and Daniels, and Jensen brings it up to center, over the line. Shoots it in, top of the left wing circle, deflected to the corner. On a Daniels now along the near boards. Cycles right to left, high slot. Shot blocked. Daniels gets it back. One player is back, a one-man advantage. Daniels shot blocked as Kilroy tried to get to it and then got it back again. Back out now to Jensen, back to Kilroy. Top of the left wing circle, shoots it in, deflected high in the air. Daniels runs it down. 17 seconds left in the one-man advantage. Daniels getting it back from Jensen. Going to down low to Narodowi. Bree Narodowi back to Daniels, right circle, fires in, and Peon tried to get a stick on it at the far post, couldn't do it. Comes back out to Kilroy. Kilroy now to Jensen, one-timer, and it's blocked. The penalty over both teams at full strength. Stevenson there. Now Jensen keeps it in along the far boards. So a nice job by Holy Cross killing off the two-man advantage. Daniels fires, and it goes in wide. Peon, and just unable to get to it was Kilroy. Nice play right in front. I'm not sure who swatted that away for Holy Cross, but back and sending it in behind Stevenson is Kilroy. So Holy Cross again successfully killed off the two-man advantage. It's in the Holy Cross zone. And getting a shot away was Molly Howard. Molly Howard again as the initial save was made by Stevenson. Now it's cleared out. Frascati. Frascati sends it up on the left wing side to center. Monahan. Monahan on a battle with Raber now at the Castleton line. Spartans managed to trickle it back into the cross zone, and McGee slides it off the far boards. Back is Sam McNeil. Sam McNeil shadowed there by O'Donnell. Far side, Castleton zone. As the Spartans work it up the center. Allie Howard for Molly Howard. Allie over the line. Allie had it deflected toward the end boards. Gallagher back behind her own goaltender. Gallagher chips it up on the right wing side. Played by O'Donnell at center. O'Donnell chips it back into the Castleton zone, and we have a...
And I believe, Jack, this is going to be a penalty against Castleton for checking.
Yep. So Holy Cross right now just finished. Now you talk, even though I'm one that does not, and I do not agree with momentum from game to game. I just don't.
But there is momentum within a game.
There's momentum within games, and Holy Cross had the momentum by killing off the two-man advantage. And now Holy Cross goes on the power play.
It's just a huge opportunity squandered by Castleton with that two-man advantage.
Side of the net, Stevenson knocks it away. Number 24 is Miller. Miller sends it out to the left point. Baggy to the right point. It's McGee. McGee turns it and sends it toward the corner. Kylie Sullivan, McGee. Back it goes to Baggy. Fires in, save, and on the rebound, Stevenson again. Giannino had an opportunity. She's in on the power play as well. Out to Baggy. Baggy now to Miller. A drive, a save, and the rebound. Backhander, they score! On the rebound, it was left open. I believe it was Kylie Sullivan on the power play goal. If they didn't have momentum before, Holy Cross has picked up momentum here, leading it 2-1.
Power play goal right there, Jack. And I tell you, some great puck movement. Right here is the initial shot that comes in. Nice save made, but left out in front a little bit. Here's the original backhander. I believe it was not, it went straight through as Stevenson was down. Stevens couldn't really recover from that initial save that was made. Here it comes across the goal mouth, and the backhander right there put in.
I believe it is Kylie Sullivan, one of the twins from Arlington, Mass. Her third goal of the year. I believe she had a goal last night. She did have a goal last night. Miller and Baggy picking up assists on the power play goal. That is a power play goal. Peon for the right point, knocked away, and Wright sends it to the end boards as she shot it in wide. That might have been deflected as well. Hannah Wright, puck on edge, back in her own zone. 2-1 Holy Cross. 14:40 to go in the second period. Pass goes by Narodowi. Now Speidel over the line. Speidel Couldn't quite pull the trigger. In front, Maridoe there. Somewhere Stevenson covers up. You know I say that, and you're familiar with a lot of the stuff we do, Mike, and I say it over and over and over again. And the fact is, I say about momentum is because it's proven over and over and over again that it doesn't work from game to game. And there are many coaches that keep on talking about momentum. It just doesn't happen from game to game. It doesn't, folks. It just doesn't. And people still don't believe it. Despite all the proof. Prescotti sends it off the near boards. Monahan trying to chase it down. Trickles to the end boards. Castleton zone. Neal sends it around far side. Goslin chips it ahead. Stedman fires into the cross zone. And it's going to be an icing call. 2-1 Holy Cross. 14:06 to go in the second period. Now, I know that sometimes people get momentum mixed up with confidence, and you feel good about winning, is what Coach Bill Bowe said. Because who had the momentum? Both teams won late last night.
Exactly. So it kind of
it's like the irresistible force and the immovable object or something like that.
Face off to come outside of the Castleton net, just to the left-hand side.
Taking it for Castleton, Goslin, and Boardman taking it for Holy Cross. McNeil with it. McNeil slides it up, intended for Rachel Bombargi. Chipping at it. Baggy, who picked up an assist on that power play goal. Axis there, number 18 for Holy Cross. McNeil's number 18 for Castleton. Toward the corner, Goslin. Spartans having some difficulty getting it out of their own zone here. Boardman chases it down left wing corner. Boardman at the end boards. Boardman at the right wing corner. Centers it and unable to pull the trigger, Pinarelli, and unable to keep it in was Emily Sullivan. She's back to grab it, number 3 for Holy Cross. Spartans change up. Macheski as Giannino parked in front, and the save made by Paula Stevens. Macheski had an opportunity, and Giannino was looking for a rebound. Back in her own zone is Pinarelli now for Holy Cross. Sent it toward the corner. Daniels beat everybody to the puck, but now Pinarelli with it. Pinarelli trying to chip it up along the near boards, but Jensen right on it. Sent it toward the end boards on a Daniels there. Daniels on a battle with Emily Sullivan. Emily Sullivan sends it around far side for Pinarelli. And here come the Crusaders up the center. Backhanding it out was Gogan. Got back the other way by Kilroy, but back is Emily Sullivan in her own zone. Off the far boards now for Pinarelli. That's gloved down at her own line by Beretinsky. Beretinsky over the line. Cuts it in to the right wing circle. Got it across the goal line. Tried to center it, knocked away. Allie Howard out at the line. Drives it to the left wing corner diagonally. Molly Howard trying to get to that. Molly Howard can't, and it comes back out. Here is Kylie Sullivan, who scored the power play goal to put the cross up 2-1. Fires into the Castleton zone. And there is Hosner, and she sends it all the way back down. Back to grab it, Aaron Hall. Now it's Prescotti. Pinching up in front of the Castleton bench. Back into the Holy Cross zone, and back is Aaron Hall. Slides it up to center. Miller. Miller chips it in and will roll in behind Stevens. There is Sam Peon for the Spartans, number 21. Off the near boards, up to center. Rachel Bombargi looks to chase it down. Back to get the puck, Hall. Also there is Gallagher.
I believe this is going to be a slash against Castleton. No, excuse me, a high stick.
Yeah, a high stick coming up with 11:11 to go in the second period. 2-1 Holy Cross. Might have been on that player there, Gallagher, a player that received
and again,
a high stick.
And again, reiterating what Coach Bowe said, Jack, staying out of the penalty box.
Rachel Bombargi is the culprit.
Staying out of the penalty box was going to be the key to winning this game. They've already given up a power play goal this period, and that was at 15:09.
Great job. Our producer here at the arena, Cam Clark, the best in the business. Another power play opportunity for Holy Cross. Baggy, a drive, and a save by Paula Stevens. She hangs on.
Stevens flashing the leather right there on the glove side, making a real nice one, getting the whistle. Face off just to her right now. Here it is again. Nice slap shot from the point, just beyond the circles right there. A little bit of traffic makes a great glove save.
Here's another drive coming in from Baggy, and it goes wide. McGee along the far boards. Also in is Gogan and also Aaron Hall here on the power play, or actually Boardman is in, number 5. Also Gogan, number 8. Number 23 is Baggy. Number 28 is McGee on the power play for Holy Cross. Minute 30 to go on the cross power play. And the drive by Gogan goes wide. Along the far boards, cleared out. Here's Kilroy over the line. Kilroy. And she can't quite control it past the back check of Baggy as Holy Cross comes back the other way. Gogan drives it in behind Paula Stevens. Back is Sam Peon. Minute 5 to go on the Holy Cross power play. Back out to center. Nicolina Jensen with speed right to left. Tied up by Emily Sullivan. And Emily Sullivan controls it and finally goes to Panarelli. Panarelli ahead now for Miller. Giannino in behind the net, trying to send it back in front of the net. Kept in, though, nicely. Here's Miller. Dropped it toward the right wing corner. Kaylee Sullivan back out to Panarelli. And Giannino actually taking the shot there. It was Giannino before, number 27, getting the return pass. Stevens making the save and hangs on. 34 seconds to go on the Holy Cross power play.
Yeah, 34 left in the power play for Holy Cross. And again, Holy Cross still edging out Castleton on shots 20-14.
2-1 Holy Cross, 9:44 to go here in the second period. Play underway again as McGee sends it around the boards near corner. See Baggy, number 23, sent it toward the corner. This is Kaylee Sullivan. It comes back out to Baggy. Kaylee Sullivan, number 17. The shot in. Stevens makes the save and covers up. With 3 Crusaders waiting at the doorstep for a rebound that never came. Giannino, Kaylee Sullivan, and also Rachel Miller.
Stevens saw that one in the whole way. Defense doing a nice job.
Actually, I guess it's Kylie Sullivan, I should say. Kylie Sullivan. Play back in, and it's cleared out by Molly Howard. 10 seconds to go on the Holy Cross power play. And that does the power play. Both teams at full strength with 9:07 to go in the second period. And shoveled into the Castleton zone. Back is Hosner. Hosner shovels it around near side. Frascati there for Holy Cross. Scotty looks to clear it out. Kept in the Castleton zone along the near boards by the Holy Cross bench. Spartans squeeze it out. Vayajan slides it in. Aaron Hall, number 6, back forward for Holy Cross. Drops it for Gallagher. Up on the right wing side, O'Donnell. Monahan on a race. Losing the race to Rayburn. O'Donnell and also Monahan and Rayburn on the ice. Boardman picks it up. Backhander, and the save made by Stevens is off the glove. It went just wide of the post. Boardman getting it back from Gogan. Back in front. Wanted to go back to Gogan, but couldn't get a stick on it. Kept in by Klimacheski. Lost it at the circle. Here comes Speidel now for the Spartans up to center. Speidel, right to left. Speidel going to work on Emily Sullivan. Got bumped. Klimacheski sends it out for Gogan. Gogan chips it into the Castleton zone. Peon with it. Peon then lost it to Klimacheski. Overskated it. Hannah Wright back forward for the Spartans. 7:40 to go, second period. 2-1 Holy Cross. Boardman with speed over the line. Boardman cuts it to the left wing circle. Swatted to the end boards, and Taylor Boardman gets it back. Boardman back out to Peon at the right point. Sends it in through traffic, kicked away, and Miller with it for Holy Cross. Miller up to center, over the line. Giannino's with her, and is still with it. Miller cycles around to the near side, out to the left point. Baggy. Back now to Miller. Back to Baggy, midpoint. Fires. Stevenson the save. Giannino couldn't get a stick on the rebound. Baggy comes up, and it's chipped out to center. Kylie Sullivan with it. Sullivan chips it back in on the backhand to the Spartan zone far corner, and there is Hannah Wright. And a right to Peon. Peon now looking, slides it ahead for Boardman. She chips it off the near boards by the Castleton bench toward the line. And it's finally picked off by Frascati. And eventually goes the length of the ice. An icing call. No, they wave it off. Well, an icing call was coming up here, but they waved it off.
I had it down as icing, Jack. I thought for sure.
And I bought it, too, as you stuck. You put that hand up in the air. I know your teammates must have loved it when you did it as a goalie, but that's deflected to the end boards off the shot from straight on. That came in from Baggy. And back inside, the save made by Paula Stevens hangs on. 2-1, Holy Cross, 6:18 to go, second period. Kylie Sullivan, it was Kylie Sullivan scoring on the power play here in the second period. Also scoring in the first period, Nicole Giannino for Holy Cross. The Spartan goal coming from Anna Daniels in the first period. At the time, tied it at 1. 2-1 Holy Cross. 6:18 to go, second period. Championship game of the Rutland Herald Invitational. Goes toward the corner. Osner up to Molly Howard. Molly Howard finally did slide it up to center. Tap back the other way. Hall to Boardman. Boardman slides it around to Gogan. Too far for her. Molly Howard there. Can't clear it out. Kept in at the line. The shot knocked away as Gallagher actually covers up. Gallagher on the shot, and Stevens covers up. 2-1 Cross. 5:54 to go, second period. 22 shots on goal for Holy Cross. 14 for Castleton.
Yeah, Castleton, again, Jack, I've been saying it all game. They just really haven't been able to get the edge on shots.
Pinarelli sent it to Emily Sullivan. Shot deflected toward the end boards. Emily and Kylie Sullivan are twins. Maya Jean lost it to Kylie Sullivan. She fires right in front where it's intercepted and finally eventually comes out to Speidel. Pokes it up into the air. Now it's Osner with it over the line. Osner along the far boards on Pinarelli. Pinarelli looks to wrap her up. Pinarelli gets the worst of that battle as she goes to the ice. Shoveled to the end boards. Emily Sullivan can't get to it. Kylie Sullivan there. They're both on the ice at the same time here. Kylie and Emily Sullivan from Arlington, Mass. Maya Jean had it for a moment for the Spartans. Now poked up into the air. Kylie Sullivan back into the Holy Cross zone. It's Pinarelli. Toe drag for Jensen over the line. It's going to be offside. Kilroy was ahead. I think Daniels was too, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I think Daniels was the one that stepped off first that caused that whistle. So we're going to have the face-off coming outside of the Holy Cross defensive end. It'll be on the far side.
2-1 Holy Cross Crusaders. 4:48 to go in the second period. Glove down in front of her own net. That's Baggy. Send it up to center. Knocked away at the red line. Anna Daniels with it. Turns, brings it back over the line, and it's going to be offside.
Well, that was a tight offside call right there.
The other one was obvious.
Yeah, that was Kilroy. Apparently that had just a bit of a spring in her step that stepped off right there. And that must have been by the slimmest of margins.
Face off just outside the cross zone. Trickles toward the corner in the Holy Cross zone. Hall back for it. All around to Gallagher. Nicolina Jensen steps in nicely. Had it for a moment. Now skating out is Monahan. Slides it to the Castleton line where McNeil back in her own zone now for the Spartans. Sends it right up the middle. Aaron Hall there. Turns it back up the other way. And they're not going to call. They are going to call. I thought they weren't. Yep, they are going to call the trip. And it's going to be on Castleton. It's going to be on Kim Goslin.
And it's interesting. It was the referee that was deep in the zone that called that one for a penalty that happened at center ice.
Because I immediately looked at the other referee who was waving off the fact that it was not an offside.
Yeah, exactly. Now, granted, he might have been looking at something else, but
he was looking to see.
It's strange to see that the referee who was furthest away made that call, which I think was kind of a weak tripping a call in itself.
Well,
but nevertheless, it is a power play for Holy Cross.
For Holy Cross. They got the go-ahead goal on the power play. Baggy's shot knocked away by Paula Stevens. Comes back to Izzy Baggy. Now it's McGee. McGee through traffic and scores! Power play goal, and Holy Cross leads 3-1.
Well, Jack, we'll have to see if this caught any action in front I tell you, there was one heck of a screen going on in front. A lot of traffic in front. And
they
Stevens
all went
didn't
out
have
to
to
congratulate McGee, but we'll see who gets credit for the goal. It's another power play goal for Holy Cross.
The shot came from the point, Jack. As you'll see, it comes in right there. It was actually out by the blue line. It was McGee that had a good shot from the point.
Timeout Castleton, so Bill Bowe's calling for his timeout right now. Okay. Okay,
So,
McGee
yeah,
and Baggy get assists. They're going to give it to Gogan. Gogan gets credit. She must have tipped it in close, so we can take another look at it. There's another close-up of Bill Bowes with his team after the timeout. So somewhere in there, Gogan tipped it. Baggy had it at the left point. McGee at the right point. McGee took the shot, and apparently that's Gogan out front there. There's 5 Boardmans down low. Gogan is the player closest to where the shot came from.
And again, Jack, that is a power play goal.
The other player, again, was Boardman. But the assists go to Baggy and McGee. The goal to Gogan, a power play. And that is her 3rd goal of the year.
So with 3 minutes and 56 seconds left, Castleton sees himself staring at a 2-goal lead right now for Holy Cross.
Although the power play, and you remember the Spartans had the 5-on-3 power play opportunity, a healthy one, at least a minute 22 of 2-man advantage, something like that, and couldn't take advantage of that. And since that time, Holy Cross has put 2 on the board, both power play goals. Anna Daniels over the line for the Spartans. Now Kilroy had it knocked away at the slot, poked away there by Klimicheski. And now it's Gogan who got credit for the goal, slides it to the end boards in the Spartan zone. 3-1 Holy Cross, 3:37 to go in the second period. And it's cleared out to center. Emily Sullivan couldn't control all the way back down to Pinarelli, and going to have an icing call against Castleton.
Holy Cross has shown a lot of speed, Jack, throughout the game when it's 5-on-5, and you just give them that man advantage, and it seems to be too much for Castleton. Trying to keep up with them. They have great puck movement around the point as they're on the power play.
And that is out to center. Hall on a chase, trying to swat it away from Jensen. It's going to be offside.
So as I was saying, the great puck movement you saw in that last one, it started down below the circles, up to one point, across the other point. When you have that puck movement going on, the goalie's having to constantly change their position and find their angle again and again, and it also gets your defenseman moving out in front of you, and it's difficult to stay with that. And Holy Cross does a nice job with puck movement.
Boardman back in her own zone, and it's Molly Howard. Cycles around right across, and it comes back out to the midpoint. Raber now to McNeil. Floats it toward the end boards, comes back out to Raber, fires in, and deflected on the way through by Molly Howard. Stevenson might have got a piece of that.
Looks like we have a delayed penalty coming up.
And it's going to be against Holy Cross. Will put the extra skater on, and the extra skater, Naradoe, is.
This is a checking call right now going against Holy Cross. We'll have to see who it is.
So Castleton with a huge power play opportunity is checking against Holy Cross. It's going to be on Taylor McGee. Let's see. Not Taylor McGee. It's going to be on Izzy Baggy as she comes to the penalty box with 2:43 to go in the second period.
Prime opportunity right here, Jack, for Castleton to get this lead cut in half. And they'll have pretty much the rest of this period left. Once this power play is over, there'll be about 43 seconds left.
Daniels, Jensen on the power play. Kilroy as well. Jensen fires. It goes in wide. Naradoe and Peon also on the power play. Peon with it. Now to Daniels. Will play it out near the line. Daniels kept it in. Anna Daniels. Under 42 left in the Castleton power play. Drops it for Jensen. Right wing circle. And she had it blocked, and Spartans have to start it all over again. Jensen back near her own line to Kilroy. Back to Nicolina Jensen in her own zone. 2:12 in the period. The second period, a minute 28 on the Castleton power play. 3-1 Holy Cross. Anna Daniels spins it across the red line and throws the puck in behind Stevenson. Daniels trying to follow it up. Now Kilroy knocked it down. Peon lost it. And it's cleared back down by Giannino. Minute 7 left in the Castleton power play. Now Raber also on. Bombargi. Stedman is on. Also Allie Howard for the Spartans. Also Nicolina Jensen still in there. She comes to the bench now as the puck goes to the end boards. Holy Cross zone. The other player back on for Jensen is Hannah Wright. Stedman fires. Blocked. They try to chop it out. Raber partially fans on it. Cleared out by the Crusaders. 38 seconds to go in the Castleton power play. And the right backboard. Minute 15 to go in the second period. And a right up to center. On the right wing to Raber. Poked ahead. Allie Howard on a chase. Allie Howard on a battle there with Monahan. They're pinching up along the near boards. Comes back out to Raber. Back now to the right wing corner to Allie Howard. 15 seconds on the power play. Under a minute to go in the period. Allie Howard toward the right wing corner. Sends it across, right in front. Rachel Bombargi, and she is robbed by Stevenson.
Stevenson covering up that rebound. As you said, Jack, Rachel Bombargi right on the doorstep, looking for anything that might squirt out.
Here it is again. Rachel Bombargi in close. 5 seconds left on the Castleton power play.
Rachel did a nice job keeping it low, and Stevenson was able to cover that up right underneath her pads.
And off the face-off, Maya Jean. Save made by Stevenson. 2 seconds to go in the Spartan power play. 44.9 seconds to go in the second period. And it is 3-1 Holy Cross. The penalty over, both teams at full strength. Kept in at the line by Hosner. Hosner to Spidel. Naradoe down low in behind the net. Naradoe and Boardman. Boardman looked like she might have come down on the puck, but still loose and cleared out, but kept in by the Spartans at the top of the right wing circle. Spidel now, Maya Jean. Beretinsky sent it toward the goal line. They try to glove it down. 12 seconds to go in the period. Toward the corner. Chesky, also there, number 6, Aaron Hall. He just pinch it up in the corner. Back out. Beretinsky, top of the right wing circle. Fires in, knocked away by Stevenson, and that's the end of the second period. 3-1 Holy Cross. It was 1-1 after a period. Couple of power play goals for the Cross in the second period. 23 shots on goal for Holy Cross and 20 saves for Paula Stevens. 19 shots on goal for the Spartans. 18 saves for Alex Stevenson as Holy Cross has the 3-1 lead. Coming into the game, the Spartans at 8-5 on the year. Crusaders at 7-5. Of course, that's the overall record. President Walk here will listen in. The raffle for the free tuition or the $4,300.
Everyone, we're very proud of our women's ice hockey team. All the work they do on and off the ice, in the classroom, out of the classroom. They work really hard.
If you hear my name called,
I'll take over the rest of the
I'll
race.
be jumping from here onto the ice.
Last year, I drew blindly Dr. Fred Backley's name, and he very generously donated the money back to the team. That does not mean that anyone else should do that. But it's his name again. The fix is not in, okay? So here it is. From Rutland, Massachusetts.
Sorry, Jack.
Gerard.
Somebody from Massachusetts won. Massachusetts is calling me home.
Sold that ticket. Thank you very much, and thanks to everyone who helped.
I didn't catch the name, but it wasn't I, so.
It was, I think it was a friend of one of the assistant coaches on the Castleton squad.
Let's take a look at the scoring. 3-1 Holy Cross after 2 periods of play.
Well, 2 power play goals, Jack, in that period for Holy Cross, and they hold a 3-1 lead. Here's that first power play goal. This one was by Sullivan on the power play.
Yeah, that's
Kylie
Sullivan.
Kylie Sullivan on a nice backhander, a couple of saves in front, and she was able to pick up the rebound and put it in. That put Holy Cross ahead 2-1 right there. That goal was at 15:09 in that first period. Again, a power play goal, backhander by Sullivan. And then again, Jack, another power play goal. This one was at 3:56, and this was by
It was Gogan, Katie Gogan.
Gogan.
McGee took the shot off the pass.
And that
it was point-to-point from Baggy to McGee, and it was tipped by Gogan.
Came from the point, and we were unclear exactly, but Gogi was credited with the goal. She got a piece of it in front and hit some action right about there, Jack, and found its way into the back of the net. And that's where we stand right now, 3-1 in the end of the second period in favor of Holy Cross. Holy Cross leading on shots, Jack, as they've done throughout the game today, 23-19.
And also, we talked to Bill Bowes in the pregame, and he didn't like the way, of course, in the case last night, even though Castleton did win the game eventually, UNE took advantage of a few power play opportunities really to get back in the game. And the 2 goals here in this period were on the power play.
Yeah,
for Holy Cross. Gogan's goal and also the goal earlier by Kylie Sullivan.
So staying out of the box, obviously, we've mentioned it all throughout, but Castleton hasn't been able to get anything going on the power play itself. They squandered a couple of opportunities, a 2-man advantage in one case.
Jack Healey, Mike Coppinger, and our producer Cam Clark here at the Spartan Arena. Mike Ballantyne and Chris McCormick at PEGTV Channel 20. The game live on Channel 20 on the Rutland Comcast system. There's your score. Holy Cross 3, Castleton 1. We'll be back with more action right before the start of the third period.
Number 1 is a pretty important number, but it's even more important when it comes to your health. That is, taking care of number 1. So turn to the number 1 group of healthcare professionals, Rutland Regional Medical Center's Vermont Orthopedic Clinic. Vermont Orthopedic Clinic is recognized across Vermont and the country for excellence in knee replacement, hip replacement, and overall orthopedic care. Vermont Orthopedic Clinic at the Rutland Regional Medical Center, where people care.
Why did I choose Castleton?
Castleton is big enough, so there's a lot to do. It's small enough so I can really get involved.
Sports.
Theater and music.
Radio and TV.
Internships and community service. There's a real sense of community.
And lots of opportunity.
And Castleton is in Vermont.
That means hiking, biking, skiing, and riding.
Visit castleton.edu to learn more about Castleton.
Why do students choose Castleton State College? It's big enough so there's lots to do, but it's small enough so that they can get involved in their classes and in clubs. In student government, theater, music, radio, TV, internships, and college and community projects that really matter. Castleton President Dave Walk calls Castleton a small college with a big heart. From their first day on campus, students feel a part of the community. Castleton offers more than 30 majors, career preparation, and the liberal arts and sciences. In every field, students receive personal attention from excellent faculty. There's a sense of community and lots of opportunity. For more than 200 years, Castleton has been educating students while changing to meet their needs. Technology, sustainability, internships, and community engagement are all part of a Castleton education. And the Castleton Spartans compete in 20 intercollegiate sports. Last year, 19 teams went on to the postseason, and individual athletes earned 79 spots on all conference teams, 6 all-region awards, and 1 All-American mention. Spartan Stadium, the home of men's and women's soccer, men's and women's lacrosse, field hockey, and football, is one of the finest facilities in the state. Glenbrook Gymnasium and Spartan Arena have been beautifully renovated. Castleton is in central Vermont, near the best snowboarding and skiing in New England, and close to where you are right now. And with all these advantages, Castleton is affordable with costs well below private colleges. Find out for yourself how Castleton can make a difference in your life by visiting soon. Check out the web at castleton.edu. Why do students choose Castleton State College? It's big enough so there's lots to do, but it's small enough so that they can get involved in their classes and in clubs. In student government, theater, music, radio, TV, internships, and college and community projects that really matter. Castleton President Dave Walk calls Castleton a small college with a big heart. From their first day on campus, students feel a part of the community. Castleton offers more than 30 majors, career preparation, and the liberal arts and sciences. In every field, students receive personal attention from excellent faculty. There's a sense of community and lots of opportunity. For more than 200 years, Castleton has been educating students while changing to meet their needs. Technology, sustainability, internships, and community engagement are all part of a Castleton education. And the Castleton Spartans compete in 20 intercollegiate sports. Last year, 19 teams went on to the postseason, and individual athletes earned 79 spots on all conference teams, 6 all-region awards, and 1 All-American mention. Spartan Stadium, the home of men's and women's soccer, men's and women's lacrosse, field hockey, and football, is one of the finest facilities in the state. Glenbrook Gymnasium and Spartan Arena have been beautifully renovated. Castleton is in central Vermont, near the best snowboarding and skiing in New England, and close to where you are right now. And with all these advantages, Castleton is affordable with costs well below private colleges. Find out for yourself how Castleton can make a difference in your life by visiting soon. Check out the web at castleton.edu.
Number 1 is a pretty important number, but it's even more important when it comes to your health. That is, taking care of number 1. So turn to the number 1 group of healthcare professionals, Rutland Regional Medical Center's Vermont Orthopedic Clinic. Vermont Orthopedic Clinic is recognized across Vermont and the country for excellence in knee replacement, hip replacement, and overall orthopedic care. Vermont Orthopedic Clinic at the Rutland Regional Medical Center, where people care.
Jack Healey back with Mike Coppinger, Cam Clark, our producer here at the Spartan Arena. Mike Ballantyne and Chris McCormick at PEGTV Channel 20 as we get set for third period action in the championship game of the Rutland Herald Invitational. Holy Cross and Castleton. Holy Cross with a 3-1 lead, getting 2 power play goals in that second period to take the 3-1 lead. Macheski is out here with Boardman and Gogan, and of course it was in the first period, right, Mike, in which Rather was injured.
Yeah, she went down, and it looked like it possibly could have been a collarbone. It was an upper body issue, and she has not been back since she went down that first period.
So Castle going right to left here in the third period. Holy Cross going left to right as Kilroy sends it in. Stevenson still in goal for Holy Cross, and Stevens still in goal for the Spartans. As it's squeezed out to center and back into the Spartan zone. Osner back, sends it off the far boards and went right by Nicolina Jensen, but played by Rachel Babargi. Lost it at the line as Sullivan slides it in. Kylie Sullivan to the end boards. There's Miller. Miller sends it out to the right point. Gallagher, left point. The shot by Hall, couldn't get really pull the trigger on it. Hall again getting it from Sullivan. Stopped in front, was blocked below the hash marks in the slot. And the shot from the left wing circle by Sullivan. Stevens makes the save and hangs on.
Stevens got that one upstairs, Jack. They seem to be, Holy Cross that is shooting up high a lot. I guess the scouting report says that's where she's vulnerable. You can see the shot right here, Jack. That's about to come in just about on the top of the circle. And Stevens holds on to that upstairs. A little bit of action behind her there. There was a tussle, a little wrestling move there as 2 players spilled into the net.
Play back in. The Spartans back in their own zone. Lost it near the line. Frescotti shovels it toward the end boards. There is Sam McNeil. Sam McNeil, they wanted to go back to her, but it comes out to Molly Howard. Molly Howard lost it. It's chipped in on Stevens from Frescotti, and Paula Stevens hangs on. There is an all-tournament team and an MVP to be announced after this game. They've already announced 2 of the all-tournament team members, one for Salve Regina and also one for UNE. So each one of those teams got a player apiece on the all-tournament team. Out to center, Michelle Mayajan steered it all the way in. Stevenson steers it to the far corner. Spidel try to step up to it, but Monahan out to center, back over the Castleton line. Spins it in behind Stevens. It'll trickle to the near side on a Chase Canaxis. Mayajan trying to glove it down. Boardman there along the near boards and back out into the Holy Cross zone where Ganarelli throws it back out to center, and it's steered back in behind Paula Stevens toward the corner. Hannah Wright, number 4 for the Spartans. Hannah Wright try to send it to Daniels. Boardman had it. Daniels gets it back up to Jensen. Now Daniels with speed. See if she can chase it down. She does. Left wing corner. Back out to Jensen along the near boards. Hannah Wright, left point. And it was blocked in front. Now Kilroy had it blocked. Now Jensen gets it back toward the right wing corner. Changes direction out to the midpoint. Hannah Wright fires down low. Kilroy can't find it. And it trickles to the far side where Peon sends it out to Jensen. And the save made with Kilroy waiting at the doorstep. Save made by Alex Stevenson. 17:20 to go, third period. Holy Cross, the defending champion in this tournament, leading at 3-1.
Stevenson with a nice glove save again. I got to hand it to Holy Cross's defense. They do a nice job of clearing things out in front of her so she has a good line of sight.
Giannino on the draw to Baggy. Baggy around near side. Well, getting to it there. The Spartans got to it. It was Goslin. Out the end boards, Bombargi trying to get to it. Far corner, McGee swings it around. Too far for Gogan. Veretinsky couldn't control at the line. And loose at center. Veretinsky sent it ahead for Goslin. Now it's Giannino who fires the puck in. Off the end boards, and back it is Sabrina Hosner. Up along the near side as Holy Cross was in a change. Back is Pinarelli. Pinarelli up the middle, center ice circle over the Castle line. Pinarelli drops it now for Sullivan. Kylie Sullivan getting it back from Pinarelli. Out to the right point. Miller a drive, and I'm not sure if that was blocked or got all the way through. Might have been blocked by Hosner. Actually, the shots on goal are relatively even here now. Holy Cross with a 24-20 shots on goal lead as they're pinching up along the far board, still in the Spartan zone. Kylie Sullivan. Ortinsky throws it around near side. Molly Howard. Molly Howard. Miller on a little battle at the red line. Allie Howard now. Miller battles her. Allie Howard couldn't control. Pinarelli off the far boards. Back is Raber to the red line. And now Anna Daniels over the line. Daniels across off the near boards for Kilroy. To the left wing circle. A shot and the save made by Stevenson.
That was Kilroy on the shot there, Jack. That came from the near side boards, right. And there wasn't much of an angle as that shot was coming in. It was actually below the dot just about. That's a tough angle to score on.
Kilroy slides that in wide along the far boards. Gallagher tries to clear it out. Anna Daniels poking at it along the far side. That's Kilroy there. No, Anna Daniels is also there. Broken loose. Boardman with it. Boardman around near side. O'Donnell. They're pinching up along the near boards. Out to McNeil at the left point from Jensen. Block. Jensen taking a swat at it. Boardman now along the near side. O'Donnell is there. Pinching up outside the circle along the near boards. And they blow the whistle with 15:05 to go third period. Holy Cross with a 3-1 lead.
Yeah, caught along that near side boards, Jack. Referee's going to elect to blow the whistle. We'll have a face-off coming inside of that Holy Cross defensive zone.
Anna Daniels scoring for the Spartans. Kylie Sullivan and also Katie Gogan, power play goals in the second period for Holy Cross. Giannino scoring in the first period for Holy Cross. Here's Narodowi. Again, Bayajan. Majel Bayajan, number 9 for the Spartans. Now over the line, here's Giannino. Giannino looking to drop it for Canaxis. Canaxis with it. Canaxis tried to center, and Narodowi knocked it away. Now it is again Bayajan. And she sends it the length of the ice. This will be an icing call.
I think Bayajan's breakout pass there didn't quite hit its intended target. And it's going to go all the way down the other end for an icing. Coming all the way back in front of the Castle net for a face-off.
If you're watching us and you are from any state in the Union but Massachusetts, you didn't win the raffle.
4,000. I wonder if they give you a $10.99 when you receive those winnings.
Spinal drive and the save made by Stevenson and ricochets toward the near boards and kept in by Stedman. Stedman that tangled up just a bit out to the right point of drive, and the save made as that drive came in from Hosner in her bid for her second collegiate goal. Picked up the first one last night in early, and that's first one last night turned out to be the game winner. Veretinsky throws it in, unable to glove it down. Frascati. Now it's Emily Sullivan. Chips it up to center across the red line. Hosner. Veretinsky lost it at the line. Here's Miller. Miller in, backhander, save! Paula Stevens, she hangs on.
Miller with a couple of nifty moves there, inside out, some great stick work, and gets a nice shot on, and Stevens was able to make the save up in the midsection. Here it is right here on a backhander. A backhander's a tough save for a goalie to make. You never exactly know the angle that puck's going to come off of. Here inside, and then out, working on the backhand, kind of shielding it away from that Castleton defender, and Stevens makes a great save.
Kept in at the line by Gallagher, sent it to the end board. Stevens pokes it away toward the near corner. Castleton zone. Gallagher again. Fires in. There, somebody got a stick on it, and Stevens made the save there. In close. And
I think that was Miller again that directed that puck towards the net.
Miller and Boardman were both there in front.
Boardman was on top waiting for any rebound to come out.
Off the draw, back out to Hall. Hall chips it to the end boards. Boardman there. Boardman, right wing corner. Kylie Sullivan has got a power play goal. It comes over. Gallagher waiting out at the line. It's tipped out. Gallagher plays it at the red line. Taps it back in. Raber, the Spartans on it. Ships it out to Kilroy. Kilroy covered by Hall. Sullivan comes over. Back to Raber. Her pass picked off by Giannino. Giannino to the far boards. Giannino sends it back into her own zone. Pass. Molly Howard intercepts. Molly over the line. Sends it right in front. And back to pick it off was Gallagher.
She had a hard time handling that. Almost put it in her own goal.
I was just going to say it ended up being a nice play because it was not a goal. But after she found control, finally Stevenson covers up here.
You know, so many times, Jack, I've seen pucks like that come off of a defenseman's skate, their own skate, and redirect in. And so a goalie actually has to follow that in all the way, even though it's your own defenseman in front.
Back out, Peon, a drive, goes in wide. Molly Howard plays it along the near boards outside the circle. Hannah Wright shot deflected toward the far corner over there. Taylor Skelton. Skelton and Allie Howard shovel toward the corner. Gee trying to clear it out, and it does get cleared out. And here's Monahan. Monahan cuts it in. Monahan. And the save made by Stevens. Cage came off the mooring here. Stoppage and play. Monahan had an opportunity. Chelsea Monahan. Here it is again.
You can see her coming in right here, having a hard time coming across as she was being pestered from behind. And, boy, that was real close there, Jack. If that net hadn't come off, I think that puck would have somehow made its way in. She's, again, shielding herself right here, and it doesn't quite get the shot up. You can see the puck skim right down there underneath.
Right in front of the turnaround shot. It is blocked. Trying it was Frescotti. Kept in at the line. Frescotti. Trying to go back to Frescotti from Canaxis. Puck on edge. Kept in by Canaxis at the line, and we're going to whistle.
And again, this is a call from the referee all the way in the back for a cross-check.
And who's going to go off here?
And I believe this will be against Holy Cross-check.
It is. It's going to be Canaxis on the cross-check. So Castleton, this is a huge
This is crucial right now.
Play. 3-1 Holy Cross, 11:37 to go in regulation.
Castleton has had their opportunities on the power play. 1-man advantage, 2-man advantage. They haven't been able to put one in the back.
Face off to the right of Stevenson. Naradoe is in. Kilroy's in. Jensen and also Daniels. Here's Jensen to Kilroy. Fires and scores! Power play goal. It's 3-2 Holy Cross.
And I think Peon might have gotten a piece of that,
well,
Jack.
Well, she did.
With her stick.
Well, they didn't call it. I mean, I saw it. Peon was the other player that was on there in the power play. I think Kilroy gets it. I'll tell you why. Because if Peon got the goal, that might have been a high stick. And they would have waved it off.
We'll have to wait for the official word, but there's the goal right there, Jack. Some nice puck movement on Castleton's part. You can see the puck comes back to the other side circle, walks in just a little bit, and a great screen in front. That is Peon with a great screen in front as it ends up in the back of the net, and now it's a one-goal game.
Jensen gets the Kilroy does get the goal. You understand what I mean about the high stick, though?
I agree.
Yeah. So it's a good thing it missed her stick, quite frankly.
So Kilroy, who had one last night, gets another one today.
Power play goal for Kilroy, and that is her 6th goal of the year. Power play goal, and the Spartans take advantage. Didn't waste any time on that power play opportunity. It's 3-2. Holy Cross. Now 10:46 to go in the third period. Here, number 14, Goslin in behind Stevenson. They're pinching up. Comes loose along the near side. Rachel Miller now skates it up to center. Rachel Miller over the line. Kylie Sullivan with her. Sullivan with it. Giannino parked in front. It's chipped out toward the line, and Sullivan back to grab it to Emily Sullivan, her twin sister. Off to Giannino. Now it goes back, though. The Spartans can't clear it out. Here's Miller looking for it. Down low in the slot. Back out. Top of the slot there is Pinarelli. Giannino toward the corner. Can't control. Spartans clear it out to center. Emily Sullivan sends it back in. As Holy Cross on a change here. McNeil up to Speidel. Jean with her, and also Naradowi. Poked away at the red line. Poked away by O'Donnell. O'Donnell sends it into the Castleton zone. O'Donnell follows it up and has it behind Stevens. Right in front, toe dragging it was Monahan. Couldn't get a shot away. Now it's Jean send it out to center. Bang back in wide of Stevens. Castleton zone. Hosner back for it. Knocked down and controlled by Monahan along the goal line. Can't get the shot away. Comes back out top of the right wing circle. Shot through. Save made. They're poking at it, and Stevens covers up. That shot from the original shot came in from Gallagher. 3-2. Holy Cross. 9:20 to go in the third period.
A lot of action in front, Jack. Practically a melee there as that puck comes in. You can see everything collapse down on top of Stevens, Castleton's goalie, and she was able to somehow keep that puck from slipping in the back of the goal.
Play back in, around, it goes to Kilroy. Kilroy who just picked up that power play goal to Jensen down the middle, has Daniels with her, and a quick shot, and Stevenson makes the save. Jensen gets it back now to Anna Daniels. And she sent it right in front, it went off Kilroy. Jensen on the rebound, and Daniels in behind the net, can't quite control, as with it is Baggy. Did Wright keep it in at the line? She did. Jensen throws it all the way in on the goaltender who gloves it, picks it up out of the air and hangs on.
Well, Jack, we've just gone a little bit over the halfway point here in the third period, and Castle has finally started to get things even up. Actually, they just put that shot up there, so they're finally even on shots. First time in the game tonight, but they still need to get that crucial tying goal.
Face off to the right of the Holy Cross goaltender, Alex Stevenson. Off the draw, played there by Pinarelli. Now, Goslin. Stedman there too, left wing corner. Babargi now Goslin in behind the net. Cycles around far side, out to the right point, Peon. And it deflected toward the near corner, Stedman with it. Stedman from Hartford, Vermont. Right in front, tipped on the way through. It went in behind the goaltender, I believe. Goslin back out to Peon. Peon trying to fire it down low, deflected toward the near boards, picked up by Miller. Miller skates it out to center. Miller fires all the way in on Stevens, leaves the rebound, Giannino, and the save by Stevens, robbing Nicole Giannino.
Just an absolutely brilliant save there, Jack.
Aaron Hall. Now it's O'Donnell. O'Donnell still with it toward the corner. Now Molly Howard over for the Spartans. Molly Howard stick handling nicely up to center over the red line. Over the Holy Cross line. Left wing circle, slid it down the middle. Allie Howard couldn't get a stick on it. Skelton number 12 for the Spartans. Cleared out off the near boards by Gallagher. This will trickle in, and Paula Stevens comes out and gets it to Sam McNeil. Took it right away from Monahan, or before Monahan could get there. Now it's Raber in behind her own goaltender. 3-2 the Cross with 7:17 to go in the third period. Raber back to McNeil. McNeil far side, and Hogan got to it, and that shot came in by Prescotti, steered away by Stevens. And it comes outside the zone, sent back in by McGee. Number 18 for the Spartans, Sam McNeil. McNeil getting it back from Raber. Up now, tipped out by Kilroy. Kilroy got it back of the red line as she intercepts back over the Holy Cross line. Drops it for Jensen. A drive and a save, and it knocks Stevenson back to her backside as she hangs on.
Good howitzer shot from the point, Jack. As you said, put Stevenson on her back. It was a shot she took right in the midsection. Held on, though, not giving up a rebound. Here it is right here. A good, hard slap shot from the tops of the circles, and she holds on right in the middle.
Face off to the left of Stevenson, the Holy Cross zone. Off the draw, Emily Sullivan. Emily Sullivan to Pinarelli. On the near boards, puck loose, and it's controlled out to center by Mackenzie Boardman. Coast to coast, fires in. Save made by Stevens, steered it toward the far corner. Back Buratinsky in behind her own net. Trying to come up for Jensen. Beyer comes out to center, played at the red line by Pinarelli. Pinarelli back over the Castleton line. Pinarelli sent it toward the corner. Buratinsky comes over, chips it along the near side. Goslin over skates it. Goslin got it back along the near boards, and it finally trickles out to center where Miller picks it up, sends it back into her own zone, and Stevenson leaves it for Emily Sullivan. 5:56 to go in the third period. 3-2 Holy Cross championship game of the 5th annual Rutland Herald Invitational Tournament in women's hockey here at the Spartan Arena. Here's Bombargi, and the save made by Stevenson. Back in front, it went across Bombargi. Kylie Sullivan with it. Slides it up off the near boards and back near her own line. Hannah Wright for the Spartans. Hannah Wright to Peon, and steered in by Goslin. Bombargi on a chase toward the corner. Gallagher there in behind her own net. The Spartans change up. Gallagher up the middle, knocked away by Naradoe on the forecheck. Back on the other side, Aaron Hall chipped up toward the line. Peon couldn't keep it in. Back Hannah Wright. Hannah Wright couldn't clear it out. This would have been offside.
That looked like it was off right there, Jack.
Yeah. Megan O'Donnell. Spidel now. Bayajan coming down the middle. Spidel side of the net, knocked away. Hall looks to clear it out. And it finally comes out off the stick of O'Donnell. Now sliding it across was Monahan. Monahan and Prescotti both there for Holy Cross. Comes back out near the line. Fired in from near the line by Taylor McGee. Along the far side, Emily Raber for the Spartans. 4:35 to go, third period. 3-2 Holy Cross. Peon. Bayajan. Straight ahead to Kilroy. Jensen. Shot deflected up into the air and up over the glass and out of play.
Well, that faceoff should be inside the zone because it came off a Holy Cross player's stick. And in fact it is, so this will come on the far side just to the left of Stevenson in net for Holy Cross.
4:26 to go in the third period. Off the face-off, the shot by Daniels deflected out of play. Another face-off coming up. It'll be Mackenzie Boardman with Lisa Kilroy for the Spartans, who cut the lead to 3-2 in a power play goal here in this period. And Emily Sullivan slides it around, kept in at the line by Rossner. Fires in, directed toward the near corner. Jensen chips it to the end boards to Anna Daniels. Anna Daniels at the goal line. Jensen comes over in behind the net. Cycles around, right wing side out to Rosner. Buratinsky now through traffic, actually sent it in wide. Jensen played it off the end boards. Saved by Stevenson. Jensen gets it back. Now Buratinsky. She fires in, blocked to the end boards. Anna Daniels with it. Anna circles around. Anna sends it back to Jensen. Back to Buratinsky.
Some great puck movement here by Castleton.
Osner through traffic, knocked away. Daniels, backhander, knocked away toward the corner. A little bit of a collision. A couple of players go down. Somebody there is on the puck, I think, and they blow the whistle. 3:33 to go, third period, 3-2 Holy Cross.
So some great opportunities right there for Castleton, and real impressed with how patient they were and the confidence they were getting, moving that puck around and getting some good scoring opportunities. Face off again inside of the Holy Cross end.
Skelton taking the draw with Giannino. Won by Holy Cross up along the near boards, Miller. Spartans get the puck back, Skelton. Miller on a battle with Allie Howard. Back into the Spartan zone, Raber turned around. Giannino now, left wing circle. Giannino to the slot. And can't quite handle it, and the Spartans look to control. It is Skelton. Molly Howard chips it off the far boards. Molly on a chase, grabs it at the right wing corner. Molly Howard straight across. Allie Howard got a stick on it, went wide to the near corner. Controlled now by the Crusaders, and they clear it out. Miller sends it in. Back is Peon, and they're going to call an icing here.
Boy, what a great opportunity right there for Castle, and I hope we have a chance to look at that again. And that's probably about as close as you're going to get from not getting a one-timer goal. And faceoff will be all the way back down in the Holy Cross end. But I tell you, Castleton's really gaining a lot of confidence right now and building some momentum, Jack, as they are getting some good scoring opportunities.
Certainly agree with it within a game.
And they actually have taken over the lead on shots right now, 31-30 in favor of Castleton.
And a timeout, Holy Cross.
And there is that play right there, Jack, that I was talking about. Real close opportunity right there for a little tip in. And you can see the puck down in the corner. It's going to get centered right here. Nice cut back. And you can see everyone's looking towards that corner. And, oh, boy, right there, I tell you, that was about 6 inches off of being deflected into the back of the net. Nice job by our cameramen to pick that one up.
Jack Healey, Mike Coppinger from the Spartan Arena. Cam Clark, our producer. Mike Valentine, Chris McCormick at PEGTV Channel 22. 40 to go in regulation. 3-2. Holy Cross, the championship game of the Rutland Herald Invitational in women's hockey.
And we have a timeout right now called by Holy Cross, and I think that they might have sensed that Castleton was, really having some flurries there as we look at that goal just a little while ago at 11:27 by Kilroy.
So you notice Peon with a high stick.
Yeah,
there.
she was bringing it up. If she brings it in a downward motion, she's not going to get called. But I think you're right, Jack. If she had been credited for it, if she had the one that made the contact, probably would have been
that's
called
why
back.
I was pretty sure Kilroy got the goal, which he did initially, because if Peon, and I believe that was Peon in front of whoever that was, if the puck hit that stick, it certainly would have been waved off. Play back in. Hosner along the far boards. Now Goslin fires in, deflected toward the corner. In behind the net. Controlling now Baggy. And she shovels it back into the Castleton zone. Hosner chasing it down. And it goes to the goal line. Hosner with it. 2:20 to go here in the third period. Back of the Castleton zone. Chipped out to center. Goes to Emily Sullivan. Now number 9 is Frascati. Sends it in, and Doratinsky with it for the Spartans up the center. Sends it off the stick of Stedman, who steers it into the Holy Cross zone. 2 minutes to go here in the third period. We'll keep an eye on Paula Stevens. She's still in the net as it comes out to center. Peon with it. Peon to the red line. Chips it off the far boards. Try to chase it down now. Hannah Wright with it. Center ice circle. Hannah Wright chips it toward the left wing corner. Paula Stevens is coming to the net for the extra skater with 1:45 to go in regulation. Nicolina Jensen overskated it. Now Kilroy trying to get to it. It's chipped out, and this will go the length of the ice. It'll be an icing call. No, they wave it off as Hannah Wright kind of slowed down. Hannah Wright got to it. Now it's Peon, the extra skater, the empty net on the Castleton side here. 1:25 to go in regulation. Nicolina Jensen with speed over the line. And it's deflected up into the Holy Cross bench and out of play. With 1:21 to go in regulation. And the score and the time on your screen, Holy Cross has a 3-2 lead.
Going to be interesting to see where this faceoff occurs. It looks like it's in the neutral zone. Yeah. So, yes, exactly. So we got to put Stevens back in net for Castleton.
So Stevens Stedman, Bombargi, and Goslin. Rutinsky and Hosner at the points. We'll see where the puck goes off the draw. Bombargi will take it for the Spartans, and we'll see. Keep an eye on Paula Stevens as soon as they get it into the zone. And back out, and back is Hosner at her own line. Back in her own zone now with 1:12 to go in the third period. As that's chipped off the near boards. Goslin there, Veratinsky, they're all poking at it. Stevens still in the net. And Klimacheski fires in on Stevens, and she makes the save.
Well, with exactly 1 minute left, Jack, Holy Cross still with that 1-goal advantage. We're going to have a face-off inside of the Castleton zone. Castleton's got to win this face-off right now and get a good breakout and get inside of that zone. And hopefully be able to pull Stevens out and get that man advantage.
Jensen, Daniels, Kilroy line on for the Spartans now. Off the draw, straight on. It is Pinarelli, sent it to the end boards. 52 seconds to go. Now the Spartans look to get it up to center. Hannah Wright now plays it. Stevens to the bench, the extra skater, the empty net on the Castleton side. Emily Sullivan swats it around now, trying to go to Kylie Sullivan, her twin sister. Kylie manages to clear it out the length of the ice. There should be icing here. And It is, with 31.1 seconds to go in regulation. Face-off back of the cross zone. The empty net, the extra skater for the Spartans. They got right now, Stedman is out there. Daniels, Kilroy, Jensen, Peon, and also Wright.
And you'll see what the lineup is here, Jack. They have 2 in front in the slot area.
Off the draw, loose in the circle. Jensen with it across the goal line. Save made off the backhander Stevenson. Wright now shoots it in. Knocked down, cleared out to center. 18 seconds to go. Wright with it. Shovels it back in. It's Emily Sullivan. Throws it up into the air and out of play with 12.2 seconds to go in the third period.
Now here's what I never understood. A player can do that, throw it out of the arena like that. If a goalie does it, it's a penalty. Now you try to do that with all that goalie equipment on. It's a heck of a lot harder, I tell you.
Nicole Giannino on the draw with Kilroy. Toward the end boards, Emily Sullivan kept in at the line by Peon. Hannah Wright trying to get to it. 3 seconds to go. This should do it. Hannah Wright back near her own line, and that's it. And Holy Cross, for the second straight year, has won the Rutland Herald Invitational.
Boy, I tell you, a really strong third period by Castleton, bringing it within 1, but just not enough. And, I hate to say it, Jack, really the penalties did it in for Castleton. Those 2 power play goals in the second period were really the death nail.
Saves for the third period for Holy Cross's Alex Stevenson.
Stevenson ends up, Alex Stevenson for Holy Cross ends up making 30 saves, 28 saves for Paula Stevens. As Holy Cross moves to 8-5, Castleton drops to 8-6. Holy Cross wins at 3-2. We're going to hang on to recap the scoring and listen into the all-tournament team. There are 2 players that have already been selected, one from Salve Regina and the other from UNE. Salve Regina defeated UNE in the consolation game 3-2 for third place. But there should be, I'm not sure of the MVP. I'm not sure if there are 6 players or 5 players to be chosen. I believe the MVP certainly will come from Holy Cross here. Well, we'll just wait for the announcements here, and then we'll recap and get out of here at the Spartan Arena. Great job, Mike Coppinger, Cam Clark, the rest of our crew here at the Spartan Arena. Wait for the announcements. I think the coaches might submit a player.
And I was actually noticing that they had handed over a tally sheet, it looked like. Coach
because they are asked to submit a player from their own team.
Sure. And I think that's what they're doing right now and tallying up the ballots, if you will. President Walks made his way down to the surface. And also the general manager for the Rutland Herald, who obviously is the sponsor of this 5th annual Rutland
It is
Herald
number
tournament.
5. I know I said 6 last night, but it's 5 because I can't count. If I went to Castleton, I would have known.
There you go.
Steve Wolf is down below as well, and he's the manager of the Spartan Arena.
And a heck of a good slap shot in his own right, too. I've seen many of them off of
Pretty
his
good
stick.
place kicker, too.
Yes.
He's worked with Stephen Hoshka of the Seattle Seahawks, who's in the playoffs. As a matter of fact, they're playing right now, I think, right? The Seattle and New Orleans?
They
is that
should,
the game right now?
Yeah, that's the game right now. And Steve actually went to Auburn,
yes,
too,
he did.
For a short while. And they had a pretty good run this year for being an unranked team.
So Holy Cross getting goals from Nicole Giannino. The first period, power play goals from Kylie Sullivan. And also a power play goal from Katie Gogan. Those 2 goals broke up that 1-1 tie in the second period. As you mentioned, as Holy Cross went up 3-1. Spartans got a goal from Anna Daniels to make it 1-1 in the first period. And then Lisa Kilroy, the power play, that cut the lead to 3-2 in the third period.
And that was Castleton, and I don't have it official, but that was at least their 3rd power play opportunity right there. We had mentioned it before that they had a 2-man advantage, and they weren't able to come up with a goal after that.
All right, we'll listen to the all-tournament team selection.
Please welcome Castleton's president, David Watt. And once again, Catherine Nelson, General Manager of the Rutland Herald, as we present the selections for this year's all-tournament team. Previously awarded at defense from the University of New England, Melissa Boudreau.
Melissa Boudreau from University of New England was selected earlier.
From Salve Regina, previously awarded Sarah Markey.
Sarah Martin, or was it Markey? I didn't catch that for Salve Regina.
From Castleton, number 4, Hannah Wright.
Hannah Wright from Castleton on the all-tournament team. That was Sarah Markey from Salve Regina. And we mentioned Boudreau from UNE and Hannah Wright.
Holy Cross, number 17, Kylie Sullivan.
Kylie Sullivan. My guess is, I'm going to guess that Giannino will be the MVP. Well, she scored the goal that won it and then scored a goal that put Holy Cross up 1-0.
And forward from Castleton, number 13, Anna Daniels.
Anna Daniels.
Daniels had a fantastic game yesterday and got the scoring going for Castleton tonight.
In goal from Holy Cross, number 1, Alex Stevenson.
Alex Stevenson.
And she played great. She had some wonderful saves tonight, Jack. A lot of them in traffic.
And the most valuable player. 2014 Rutland Herald Invitational Women's Hockey Tournament from Holy Cross, number 27,
Nicole Giannino is the MVP, as we thought she would be. She scored the goal last night with 15 seconds left to win it in the first goal of the game in this one today. So that will do it for our coverage here. We recap the scoring as yet. Apparently, we set to recap it. Here's Mike Coppinger.
So again, Holy Cross winning this one 3-2. Here's how it started. First period, Holy Cross got on the board. This is Giannino right now. A nice slap shot, went high, picking up on the far side boards, and a nice shot right inside the circles, went high on Stevens. And that's how the scoring started for Holy Cross. Castleton answering shortly thereafter at the 4:35 marker. This is Daniels with a sniper shot. You can see it tucked right into the corner on the stick side. And then going into the second period at 15:09, Holy Cross scoring again. This is Stevens on a power play goal with a backhander. Had Stevens down. That's Sullivan right there, taking the lead for Holy Cross in the second period. And then again, Holy Cross in the second period at 3:56, power play goal. And this one slipped right in underneath. That took Holy Cross to a 3-1 marker. And then in the third period, Castleton trying to make their way back, a power play goal. This is Kilroy at 11:27. And we thought it might have come off of somebody in front, but turns out it was Kilroy all the way with a good shot from the point. You can see it make its way across, and she has a nice snap, wrist shot rather, that goes in and finds its way in the back of the net. But not enough for Castleton, as that's where things end right there, with Holy Cross taking the win and the championship of the 5th annual Rutland Herald Tournament 3-2.
Good job, Mike Coppinger. We'll catch you down the line here coming up from the Spartan Arena. For Mike Coppinger, Cam Clark, our producer, Mike Valentine, and Chris McCormick, our producers at PEGTV Channel 20 on the Rutland Comcast system. I'm Jack Healey, wishing you all a very pleasant good evening from the Spartan Arena. Again, the final score in the championship game of the Rutland Herald Invitational, Holy Cross 3 and Castleton 2. Good night, everybody, from the Spartan Arena.